Good morning and welcome to our Skype series. Today we are fortunate enough to welcome Sergey Kanovich or Sergeyas Kanovichus. Welcome.
Welcome, Alexandra.
Thank you. You have spent a great portion of your life's work working to improve the quality and the condition of Lithuanians' cultural Jewish experience. And you are currently working on a film that follows the lives of the Sedova Jews' descendants who are fortunate enough to leave Lithuania during the most turbulent period of the Second World War. Can you please share with the audience a little about this project?
Well, as you have mentioned, the film which we are, the working title of the documentary we are doing together with director Saulius Beržynis is The Perfect Time. The film is one of the parts or one of the elements of a larger project which is called Lost Shtetl. It is the project which started in a very little village in Lithuania, somewhere between, in the middle of the way between Šiauliai and Panevėžys. The village is called Šeduva, where we basically started to build a memorial for the Jewish community which once lived in that village. And the film is just a little, is one of the parts, one of the elements of the project. The other elements are fully restored Jewish cemetery, which was neglected for the past 70 years or so. We also have created new monuments on the three murder sites of where local Jewish population was killed in the beginning of World War II. And there will be also a museum of Lost Shtetl just opposite the Jewish cemetery, the restored Jewish cemetery, which is due to open in 2018.
And when do you anticipate the film to be completed?
Sorry?
When do you anticipate the film to be completed?
We hope the film to be completed this year, and we hope that it will be shown sometime in the beginning of the next year.
Excellent.
The reason for that is that we are busy with the film for I would say more than a year and a half, and the reason that we did not finish it so far. The plan was basically to have it finished by now, but since we have discovered things in the course of making the movie, we have discovered many things which when we were not aware of them. That made us basically to continue and to enlarge the movie. We were aiming to have a documentary of 60 minutes, and now we believe that we would be happy to fit into 90 minutes or so.
My goodness, that's quite a difference from 60 minutes to 90.
Yes, both are a challenge because of the sensitivity of material, because of authenticity of material, because of the attitude we are trying to apply. It's rather difficult material really to address. Although there were so many movies related to the Holocaust and related to the Jewish heritage and stuff, but we are trying to tell the story of a very little community, very ordinary people, and rather ordinary life which stopped out of a sudden for basically forever.
So as you were saying, you mentioned in part, perhaps some of the people listening may not be aware that during the course of the Second World War, most of the Jewish Lithuanian population, over 90%, was disseminated. However, in the case of the Tzedova Jews, the case was even more extreme or traumatic. If you could share with us, if this is the main reason, or if there were other underlying reasons for your choice of this particular group or this city in Lithuania to make the film about.
Well, it's a kind of pure. It happened accidentally. I've been busy with trying to do something about Jewish heritage in Lithuania for some years already. Before this project, I'm actually having two NGOs, one of which is called Matseva. Matseva is a catalog of Lithuanian Jewish cemeteries, which this NGO is trying virtually to preserve. There were almost 200 Jewish cemeteries before the war in Lithuania, and today there are about 150 remaining. Large part of them is really neglected or forgotten due to the lack of funds or due to the lack of awareness or whatever. And we were dealing with the help of many local volunteers, Lithuanians, in trying to preserve at least what's left. So we were basically trying to clean them, to photograph them, to translate the tombstones, and to publish them online. And this is how it happened that the sponsor of the other project, of the project which we are talking now about Shadova, he came across and he said that he is willing to do a little bit more. And he basically is second generation Shadovian. His parents, his father basically was born in Shadova. And basically this is what made us making this choice of Shadova. So it's a sponsor whose roots are from there, and who decided to create a memorial.
I see. So, could you share the information again if someone was interested in preserving cemeteries or helping in some way? Could you share the information regarding that one more time?
Yeah, so the NGO is called Matseva. It has a website which is www.litvak-cemetery.info.
Thank you.
So people can access the information via this website. I would like to add that the sponsor actually, we were very lucky with the sponsor, who prefers to stay nameless. Anonymous. So he basically agreed that we would take Shadova, his parents' hometown, as an example of what the life of Jewish communities was before the World War II, and that we would try to scale it up into what happened in the other communities as well, because the life was very much similar in Shadova or in other little villages or a bit bigger villages like that, in terms of the way of life, of the habits, of religion, of customs, traditions, language, etc. So basically, telling the story of this shtetl, we are trying to tell the story of all the little communities which have vanished forever, basically.
Is there a message that you'd like to share to the younger Lithuanians, perhaps about the divide that seems to still exist between Christian and Jewish Lithuanians?
I think there is a lot of things to learn, whether you're Jewish or whether you're Lithuanian, when you're trying to dig things from the past and you are trying to understand how these people lived, what they have been doing, and how they perished or how they vanished. We are interacting a lot with local population. For instance, it appeared to be that we were the first in the 25 years of independent Lithuania. Our NGO was the first to donate a fully equipped ambulance to the local community. Apparently that never happened, and we were pretty much surprised that we were the first. We were from one point of view, we were nicely surprised. From the other point of view, it was a bit sad that we are the first after so many years. After so many years, so we of course the investment is very large so far. We have invested over 3 million euros in the project, and the intention with museum is to invest almost twice as much, if not more. And basically, we are creating in a very abandoned, I would say, province. We are creating jobs, we are creating interest, we are creating an attraction of people to come, point of interest. And so far, we were successful. We enjoy very good communication on all the levels of the local authorities. We enjoy a full understanding from local population. And I have to say that we are doing it not only because of Jewish interest. We believe that this trace which we are going to leave there is the trace for generations to come. And it's obvious that these generations are not Jewish. These generations are ethnic Lithuanians. And I think that historically it's important, and also ethically is important, to know what the past was, what these people we're talking about were doing for this country, because we were living under common sky, and we would like to tell that story.
Beautifully said. We ask, before I ask the final two questions, may I ask one more time, if someone were interested in the project, is there a website for the film that you could share?
Yes, there is a website for the film. It's www.lostshtetl.com.
Thank you. Now, we ask all of our guests the Lithuanian food question. A lot of our viewers are somehow Lithuanian, but they no longer speak the language. The one thing that binds all of us is our love of Lithuanian food. Do you have one favorite Lithuanian dish that you'd like to share with us?
Well, it's it's a question which puzzles, especially when you stay in Belgium and you got used to a completely different kind of kitchen. But yes, of course, I travel very often to Lithuania and I do have my reminiscences from my childhood. So I believe that my first pick would be šaltibarščiai for sure.
That's mine also.
It's out of any competition, and it's regardless of the weather. I mean,
That's true.
If you ask me in the middle of the winter, which we are now, so it will be still šaltibarščiai.
That's how it was. My grandmother had a garden, and every person who makes it, it's a little bit unique with the herbs they use. So I think it's a wonderful dish that is really showcases a cook's talents. Good choice.
I agree.
The last question we ask all of the guests is, what does Lietuvybė, or being Lithuanian, mean to you?
Primarily, I think that being Lithuanian is, to me, is the language. It's the Lithuanian language. I personally graduated from Vilnius University, from the faculty of philology, where I studied Lithuanian language and literature. And I have to say that although I'm not dealing with this professionally on a daily basis, but I have to say that the language, this is what makes every nation unique. All the rest comes after. And I think that the Lithuanian language is extremely rich, it's beautiful, and I think and I hope that it will stay there for many centuries to come.
Thank you so much. It was truly an honor to speak with you, and we look forward to seeing your project completed. Please feel free to update us with any new information on the project as you near completion. It's been an honor speaking with you.
It was a pleasure to talking to you as well, Alexandra. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, and we hope to see you again. Ačiū labai.
Neruška.